The flash and gun crack report of an air bubble rupturing inside one of the fire logs jolted Jimmy, ripping him out of his umpteenth flashback of the previous week, back into the present. He'd seen no sign of Frank or his horse in the day and a half since he fled the deserted shanty, and he didn't care to dwell on it. As soon as the sun rose, Jimmy would continue riding on, no matter the storm's fierceness, even if he'd see no further than the tip of his own nose. He needed rest, as riding through the night had left him exhausted. Satisfied that thinking would be easier once he was mobile again come daybreak, he entered his tent and climbed into his bedroll. A pallid, restless sleep found him, due only to his sheer enervation. The next morning, Jimmy woke to the same blizzard-force storm that had raged on for days. Slightly defeated at the sight, yet still motivated by fresh enough fear, he packed his camp with particular haste before kneeling down by the now embers of his campfire. Deciding to orient himself preemptively, Jimmy reached into his pocket, feeling for the compass. As he did, a large shadow slowly emerged from the woods into the camp, obscured by the blizzard until it was within an arm's reach of Jimmy, startling him for his life. Frank's horse, appearing as unperturbed as ever, complete with Frank's saddle rig mounted neatly, the now highly out-of-place animal rattled Jimmy. He wasn't glad to see it one bit. In fact, he hated it. It reminded him that Frank had, well... He pulled out his compass and he was greeted by a terror of a far greater nature. All it had taken to shatter Jimmy's entire universe of hope was the act of producing the compass. The NSEW on the dial had been replaced by LOST and now spun aimlessly. Jimmy slowly turned the compass over, exposing the back plate in his leaf-trembling hands. It read, Jimmy. Just then, from all directions at once, Jimmy heard the faintest of whispers calling out from the storm. Son, it taunted, you won't believe what will find you out here. It was only then, in that instant, did Jimmy realize that it had been Jake who he was supposed to meet a week prior, and that whatever it was that he had come to know as Frank would see to it that they'd soon meet after all. Jimmy knew this. He could hear it on the wind. It was here, now. A branch cracked and broke directly behind him, but he didn't bother glancing back. He already knew what was there. As First Lieutenant Jimmy Derringer of the 9th Kansas Cavalry Company B knelt down and closed his eyes, ready to surrender to the personified horror rising up onto its haunches behind him, he had one final notion. The patrol's patrolled by something old, he blurted out with a gruesome tear-streaked chuckle, in the final moment just before something wicked and ancient as eons and hungry lunged down upon him. Its agape jaws stretched into a wide, sinister smile.